Here we go again. Hello, everybody. Driving and talking. Had to pull over and fix my camera exposure using, I'm using my phone, still using the phone, but I got a new camera app, and sometimes the settings kind of confuse an old man, you know. I mean, I'm still used to more physical attributes to mess with. So anyway, this time we're going to talk about another facet of being lonely as an INFJ, and this is one that I've not seen a whole lot of exposure about, at least recently. You know, I watch other INFJ videos too, and I tried hard not to too closely emulate those. In fact, I have trouble. You know, I saw one, and I may piece together a video that I saw one of and did one of my own, and even though it was a couple of years old, I just felt like I had something to say on the subject, and I just, you know, I have trouble doing that. I feel like I'm, you know, just copying what somebody else is saying, which I never do. At least I've been told by other people that I never do that. I'm supposedly really good at taking complicated crap and jamming it together into uncomplicated scenarios. So with this one, I want to talk about, because there hasn't been a lot of exposure that I have seen, I want to talk about the all the time alone, every second of every day alone, not physically. We're not talking about love, we're not talking about intimacy, we're not talking about relationships. We're talking about being alone, no matter where you go, no matter what you're doing, no matter where you are, you're alone, because you've learned the cost of interacting with other people. I'm going to stop it there. I got to go in the store. See, unplanned restart didn't give me enough time, so I'll be right back. Hey, I'm back, and it's raining like crazy. I feel more like a fish than I do a human being. I mean, it's really coming down, so we're going to find out how good the noise cancellation is in this mic I got, using the Hollyland Lark A1, which seems to be a good mic so far, but we'll find out how good the noise cancellation is. So if I'm screaming during the entire video and there's no noise, you'll know why I'm screaming, because to me it sounds like I need to. But I've learned a lot of times on this mic I really don't need to. It just seems that way. So anyway, back to business. That all the time loneliness, that no matter where we go, no matter what we're doing, we're always alone. That takes a mental toll. And, you know, that I think is a big part of the loneliness that people aren't talking about. They're not recognizing that in itself is a box or a cage that we live in. Because we know the minute we argue with somebody stupid, this I did talk about recently with somebody else, is the, excuse me, I've got something popped up on, oh, that's my time. So the moment that we discuss something that is boy, my camera's going crazy. The moment we discuss something that is above the heads of other people. Okay, I'll just say it outright like it is. It's above other people's heads. It is beyond their ability to comprehend, and they are offended by that. They get defensive, and they will stand on, it's called the Dunning-Kruger effect if you want to look at it. But Socrates first found this, and that was why he was ultimately put to death. And he did not have to die. He could have left. He had enough friends. He could have left. But he chose to stand on his principle. And at his age, which was, I think he was 74, 70, he was 70 something, 70, 74, 75, something like that. So, he chose to die on his principles, literally. So, but he was originally the one that found it. Dunning-Kruger just put it to scientific theory. And, I mean, it's a social science, but it's still a science. So anyway, the moment we try to prove ourselves or share our intellect with the world doesn't want to know our intellect. The world wants to be right. They have a need to win, okay? And the moment you begin to look like you're winning, they will stand on whatever they've chosen to stand on, whatever point it is, whatever they think they're right on, whatever they are indignantly right about, then they will fight you to the death on that. And most of us have figured that out, and figured out that, you know what, we'll just go through, work, church, social interactions in general. We're just going to go through and just act amiable, amicable to whoever, saying whatever. Just agree, get through it, go on to the next interaction, agree, whatever, appear to have no real opinions about anything, and just let the people be right. Just whatever. This is loneliness at its core, because here we are with things to say, things to share, facts to imbue or to impart our wisdom. Our drive to do that's very strong, and we take it as, this is a subject that has come up recently by several creators. I don't know why, because the last time it came up was 2 years ago. I did the research. But now all of a sudden everybody's talking about the white knight syndrome and how to cure the white knight syndrome and all this. But that's just a small piece of what I'm talking about. It is mentioned in other places inside a relationship, inside a personal relationship. So that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about white knight syndrome in society. Just as we move through society, we always have that need, want, or desire to impart facts, wisdom, save people from their own stupidity. And they just don't listen. They're not going to listen, and they're going to clamp down on whatever stupid crap they're saying. Sorry, I'm checking. When I do that head tilt, I'm checking something about the screen. I wear bifocals, so they're going to clamp down on whatever it is they've just said if you go about trying to impart your knowledge about that, whatever that subject is. Now, if they're completely uncomfortable and they went out on a limb and then you caught them out there off guard, then they'll change the subject to something that they can comfortably stand on and absolutely die on whatever hill they're standing on, demanding that you pay attention to whatever, ignorance they're talking about. So that's lonely for us. And for people to not understand it, for people just to not see that. I mean, and I'm one of those people that I just don't see it, because it's one of those things that I'm looking. I'm trying to look through the forest, right? And I can't see it because there's too many trees in my way. So I'm one of those people that looks right past that and tries to attribute this loneliness that we have, that we carry with us all the time, to some outside I've lost my vocabulary now, to some outside force. I don't know, to some outside, to something that is outside of us. See, we're trying to, and I don't know if that's maybe trying to get the pain, trying to distance from the pain. And that's just that's our natural reaction, is to say it's because of these things that are out here, not what's in here. Because it's kind of a different animal, right? I mean, it's something different to look at ourselves and say, I'm lonely because of me. I'm lonely because it's the way I am. It's who I am, and nothing is going to change it that I can see and understand anyway. Nothing is going to change that. I'm lonely because of me. But that doesn't make it any easier to deal with. That doesn't give us any real answers. So where does that leave us? Well, it leaves us lonely. But doesn't it help to understand it? Doesn't it help to sometimes just take a step back and go, you know what? I'm lonely, and I'm lonely because the people in this world are not like me, and it's just the way it is. I'm different from other people. There's nothing wrong with that. It's nobody's fault. It's just that I'm different. And I think I found a way to at least partially live with that, deal with that, and try to build on it. Really, try to build on my own loneliness. What do I find to do to correct that loneliness? What do I find to do with my time, either internally, externally, or both, so that I'm not a victim of my own loneliness, so that I can try to help master it, understand it, and understand that what we're talking about is an emotional response to physical input. And if we can manipulate or control or even just understand the input, then maybe, and I think that's probably the key, is understanding that input and saying, okay, these actions are not against me, that nobody is doing anything to me. People are doing things for themselves, because we know that most people are going to have an absolute mental collapse if it's found out they were wrong about something. Think about that. Give me a like, share, comment, subscribe, hit me up, let me know. I'll be around. Oh my God, are you still here? Well, you're probably the only one. I mean, one out of, 5 or 6 people that'll ever see this. So you are 20%, which means, as an individual, you're in the majority. So, like, subscribe, share, comment, hit that bell. If you do, your life will be better. I guarantee it. It's gonna happen. Just stick with me and understand. You know the reason. I'm one of you, and we're always right, especially on the future.